Good morning, Congressman. Thank you for joining us. So walk us through, if you will, to viewers, just what needs to get done. The House is out for quite some time. And when they are back, give us a sense of just how much needs to be done and how quickly.
Yeah, well, good morning, Jonathan. It's good to be with you. I think you articulated the context well, and the context matters. Republicans have had control of the House of Representatives for 7 months, and it has been chaos and confusion every step of the way. That started, of course, with the unprecedented vote at the beginning of the Congress when Republicans were incapable of selecting a speaker for almost a week. And it has continued throughout the last 7 months. No bills to lower costs or grow the middle class or build safer communities, but instead bills on gas stoves and the long-eared bat, any issue that House Republicans can literally conjure up to avoid addressing the fundamental challenges that face Americans. And you said it well, a deal was reached between House Republicans. We passed the Fiscal Responsibility Act back in June. More House Democrats voted for it than House Republicans, I might add. But nonetheless, an agreement was reached, a compromise, and Republicans immediately reneged on that compromise and now have left the House in the position of having to find a way to fund the government with only 12 days when we return from the 45-day recess that House Republicans announced when we left Washington last week. It's deeply disappointing. I think the American people, I suspect, find this disheartening. And I worry that the House and the Congress will be unable or incapable of doing the most basic act of governing, which is fund the government. And Jonathan, as you know, many House Republicans would like to shut down the government. They have been unabashed about their willingness to do so.
Yeah, we heard from one congressman last week say that, well, that would be a good thing because we don't do anything for the public good here in Washington anyway. So, look, this isn't the default. That's what we were thinking of, we were facing back in May. But it would still be a significant deal, of course, if the government were to shut down and impact, tens of thousands of Americans. But, Congressman, you kind of hinted at it there. It does seem like this speaker is really at the mercy of the far right of his conference, at least at times. What's your analysis? How are you seeing that dynamic play out with your Republican colleagues?
Yeah, I think you're precisely right. It's clear that in Washington, D.C., the extreme wing of the House Republican caucus has taken power. They have taken control. And they are unabashed, as I said, about wanting to shut down the government, notwithstanding the disastrous consequences it would have for the American people. I was sworn into Congress the first time in 2019 during what became the longest government shutdown in the history of our country. It is terribly destructive for our economy, for the many individuals who rely on any number of key governmental services. You think about the literally hundreds of thousands of air traffic controllers and federal employees who were out of work for over a month and a half, bringing our economy to a standstill. It very well could be cataclysmic, and it's an outcome that we should avoid. But as I said, many House Republicans would like to shut down the government. They are making the affirmative case for doing so. I think that's deeply problematic. And unfortunately, there's no grown-up in the room, right, that one would expect typically from the Speaker of the House or Republican leadership to be able to tell their caucus that they have to do the right thing. That simply is not the case in this modern iteration of the House Republican caucus, unfortunately.